Okay, let's go.
Well, I had a question. Somebody asked me, why do I do what I do? And I'm like, fine, let me tell you my story. When I was growing up in a upper middle class black neighborhood, and which we had a lot of real estate investors around in the neighborhood, great grandparents included. And one of the things growing up like that made me see the world in possibilities. And I'm looking at the history of my great grandfather. Well, he had third grade education, but he was a master carpenter. And then I had a great grandmother who was very good with money and math. She had an eighth grade education because at the time that's the highest they could go because of their situation when it was coming before the Great Depression. And then as they was coming through the Great Depression, one of the things that intrigued my great grandfather so much, because I had my great grandfather up until I was about 14, 15 years old. And then I had my great grandmother up until I was 38. And I had my grandfathers, and my grandmothers. I had the generations. So I talked extensively to them. However, one of the things they gave us was a sense of pride in who we are. One of the things that they gave me subconsciously is be all you can be. And also one of the things they gave me was to read everything. Read everything, learn everything. But at the same time, I can travel 2 blocks over, 2 or 3 blocks over, you had we call the projects. And those people living in a different reality in a sense. Not that they're no less than anyone else or no one's better than no one. It wasn't that. It was just 2 parallel worlds that I grew up with and wondering how to navigate. One of the biggest things that got me to the point where I love inspiring people is because the simple fact is, right now, what most people don't realize is that in the last 50 to 60 years, we got into more of a more just and more economically equal, and not financially, but opportunity-wise, as far as the economy, and that's threatening a lot of people. And a lot of people do not know the greatness that's inside them to push back. They're not knowing that there's a lot of people that came up with more difficult challenges, Jim Crow South, coming out of racism, that became very successful. And we can do it too. Even more so because now, in many cases, we are more connected than ever in history. We are more connected, not only with people in the United States, because the United States make up 6% of the population of the world. 6%. It has 70% of most lawyers in the world, which that's one track that I was going on last century. Become a lawyer. I ended up getting a paralegal degree. I ended up working towards a bachelor's in business administration, and then I was gonna go get a law school. But sitting here talking to lawyers, did you know that most lawyers has 30% increase of alcoholism? You have most lawyers have 50% depression. And so that's the reason why a lot of times they can't function in main society, so they get into politics. And then a lot of times is when they get into politics some of them get into politics to do good. Some paycheck, period. So they go with the flow. But the reason why I do what I do, going back to me, the reason why I do what I do is because the simple fact is, mostly everything and this is something that I got from my great grandparents, my uncles, and all. Mostly everything that you ever need to know about anything is in a book. Is in a book. What are they trying to do now? Take books away. Now more so you can get faster and more information too if you use University of YouTube. Because the fact is, YouTube is a platform that pretty much pay people for views, just like you looking at TV, but in many cases it's something that's going to educate you. Now, and I have a YouTube channel. And I'm building it out. And please subscribe, like, and subscribe. Find it. Go was it youtube.com/ Melvin Carter. Like and subscribe. Subscribe. All right. But anyway, going back to me, the reason why I do what I do is because I'm passionate about growth. I'm passionate about people. I don't believe in scarcity, even though sometimes they might try to creep in some kind of way, because scarcity is something that will steal from you because you think it's not enough. It's the same thing with this budget bill. You have people, if you look at it, if everybody was living abundantly, right, everybody make a lot of money. That's the reason why in many cases where I'm a Republican, try to shrink the economy and say a few can have, and it just messed the economy up. I mean, just, you can look at the last 30 years what a Republican has done, the last 30 to 40 years what a Republican done, and then a Democrat come in, and then everybody feel like they prospers a little bit. But because of people's miseducation, people sit here and get to a point where somebody can tell them a lie and they believe it. And it pretty much comes out of the Bible a little bit because you being deceived. And a lot of times is when you being deceived because Hosea 4:6 sit here and said in the Bible, Holy Bible, it could be NIV, and it could be I don't some other versions I don't question. But anyway, William King James, my people will perish for a lack of knowledge. So if that's the case, why not go get knowledge? Same thing with King Solomon asked for. He asked for wisdom. Why not go get the wisdom? That's the reason why I sit here and do what I do, is because the fact is, when I rededicated my life to God 30, 30 plus years ago, about 30 plus years ago, my father introduced me to Dr. Frederick K.C. Price, the late Dr. Frederick K.C. Price, where he studied the Bible and he teach the Bible instead of being preached to. So I won't be ill informed. He said, don't trust nobody, but you read and you study yourself. And so one of the things that I've done for the last 30 plus years was study and read, study, so read, implement what I've learned. And the reason why I'm a speaker now, a speaker coach, a professional speaker coach, at the same time, it consultant, is because you study and you implement and you share. And the reason why I love doing what I'm doing is because I have a passion to impact lives for the better. I want all of us to grow together. I want all of us, whatever area you're in, everybody grow. Everybody feel good about themselves. I don't care who you are in your background. So the reason why I do what I do is because the simple fact is we live in an abundant world. We have craziness because some people are always trying to pursue power, but at the same time, and they let their egos in the way, because a lot of times what people do is ego driven than love driven. And I'm that person who want to give that disruption of not ego. Don't lead with ego. It's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. My position in this. My position in this. Go with giving. That's the reason why the Bible said, give and you shall receive. Give and you shall receive. That doesn't mean that you're supposed to be poor. Nothing in the Bible said that you're supposed to be poor. Now, some people have constructed the Bible to keep you poor, keep you struggling, keep you sick, keep you in a situation where it doesn't benefit you because why? Because someone else is gaining. Someone else is gaining. So it goes back to me. Who's going to benefit? I look at we all can benefit from living. We all can benefit. We can all go up. It's $4 trillion circulating the planet each and every day. It looking for a home. It looking for a home. And you don't need a whole lot of it to change your life. Now, my question is to you. I told my story. What is your story? What is the story that you're telling yourself the reason why you can't have? What is your story that you're telling yourself the reason why you staying sick? What is your story staying broke? What is your story? What is your story? And then disrupt it, please. Disrupt it because you better than you are. You have what you say you have. You live like you want to live. Now, if you ever want to contact me and go deeper on anything, go to melvincarterjr.com and we can talk, we can strategize your next steps. However, whatever you do in life, and if you got to this point, because this is longer than I anticipated, but I'm thinking I'm talking to somebody. Whatever you do in life, I want you to remember one thing. You are truly loved. You are loved beyond measure. Just believe that you are loved, and love yourself better than you're doing right now. Love yourself because this world needs more love and we need to share it. Deuces.